What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Been busy. Was at St. Clair for a week. Came home for a little bit. Had to get a bunch of baits done and reels. And then we just got back from Sturgeon Bay and I overpacked. I knew I would. I didn't overpack baits. I overpacked rods. We were kind of hoping it would be a pre-spawn into a spawn bite. But nobody's had a winter really, especially up north. They didn't really have frozen lakes for long, and they didn't freeze long. St. Clair didn't freeze much, so those fish started early, and the Sturgeon Bay fish started really early. Usually they kind of go in waves. If you look at Sturgeon Bay, it's just one giant peninsula. You have the Sturgeon Bay side or the Green Bay side, and then you have the Lake Michigan side, and the spawn can kind of start down south and it kind of migrates north. Well, it kind of all started at one time. So when we got there, we found some beds right away. They were pretty deep though. And when I mean pretty deep, they're in like 12 foot, 10, 12 feet of water. That's usually when the bigger fish are. With the exception of my buddy Lonnie's personal best. He'd never been up there. We took him and his buddy up there and kind of showed him around. And the first day, Saturday, he caught a 7.2 in 3 foot of water, kind of in a random area, in a random spot that I just went by with a trolling motor. It didn't go even shallow enough. I was in like 4 feet of water, and it was just a little closer to the bank. So I was kind of bummed about that because I've been looking for a 7-pounder for like 15, 20 years. It's the unicorn of unicorns, a smallmouth. Super happy for him though. It's an amazing fish. He got some pictures and video and all that kind of stuff. Awesome fish, but definitely overpacked. I brought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 rods. Since we weren't bringing my boat, we were bringing my buddy's big crestliner. I wanted to bring everything that I thought we could probably catch them on, like tubes and jerkbaits, little jigs, some crankbaits, stuff I was really hoping that we could get some fish on. None of that worked, so I've narrowed it down to 3 baits, which I knew was going to happen. As soon as we saw the spawn was happening, I was like, all right, we're just going to use 3 baits the entire week, which was fine because it narrowed everything down. I didn't have to bring anything. I could just leave that stuff in the hotel or in the boat locker and just use these 3 rods. All bait casting. I don't own a spinning reel. If you know me, I haven't owned a spinning reel in like 15 years. So first one was probably the least amount used for me personally. My other buddy Gene, he pretty much caught all his fish on a drop shot. We did not catch many fish on drop shot. It really just depended on how the fish's mood was. So this is the OG Dobyns DX 701C finesse. Amazing rod. It's the unicorn rod. I've got a couple of them. They made them like 16 years ago maybe. It didn't last long just because of that BFS trend wasn't popular here in the US. So I've got a few of them. I'm using an Omega custom tackle, 3/8 ounce weight. This is a tungsten weight. I wanted a little bit heavier since we were fishing deeper water, and we also had days with wind, so I needed that bait to stick on the bottom. I'm also throwing a VMC spin shot hook with a Berkeley flatworm. This is, I think, Gobi color. This is 8-pound Seagar in Vizex. Shortened up the leader a little bit. I probably could have shortened it up just even more, probably another 4 inches maybe. It just makes it easier to pitch over and over and over again, or make that long cast if you see bed like 20 or 30 yards away. It was a little bit easier that way. I also love the BFS. It's just so much fun. This is also an 8:5 to 1 gear ratio, so it's gonna be a little bit faster than the spinning reel. But we would rotate between the drop shot and the other 2 would be Ned rigs on the mood of the fish. So some of these fish would stay suspended above the water or above the ground, or they would sink all the way into the ground. And the suspended fish didn't want anything to do with anything on the bottom. They would not touch a bait. They weren't even going after like gobies or any of the little, like, I don't know what they were, fry minnows. They essentially would just stay above it. So once we threw a drop shot in and they wouldn't touch it, we would have to go to the Ned. They wouldn't touch the Ned, which the Ned was like 95% of the time. We would go to the drop shot. Absolutely blast to throw. This is the Daiwa Geckobision Air TW. Phenomenal reel. Super compact, super smooth. Absolutely love it. But the other two were the heavy hitters for catching, I would say, 95% of the fish that I posted. That 28-pound bag, the 26, the 25-pound bag, all that stuff was caught on these two setups. Mainly, mainly this one. But I also had to change to this one because I do two different colors. That's it. So this is the white Ned setup. I was using the, what is it, the 3.5 inch or the 2.5 inch Yamatanuki on the Omega Custom Tackle Slayer Ned head. This is a 1/4 ounce. Again, I wanted heavy weights to get it down to the bottom as fast as possible. Fishing that deeper water, I didn't want to wait 25 minutes for that thing to just spiral and fall down. I wanted that thing to just hit the bottom, come back up, hit the bottom, make a cast, long way, hit the bottom, and then drag it, you know, blind fishing, all that kind of stuff, dragging on these rocks offshore that we found, some beds that you're dropping on. This is the DX702. Again, this is an 8-pound Seaguard Vizex. This is an 8-pound or a 4-pound Israeli hybrid. Paired with the Daiwa SS Air TW. Another amazing damn reel. I'm actually thinking about getting another one of these and using it for jerkbait fishing with an 8 or 10-pound line. I love the palmability of it. Might have to clean some of these up. But yes, we rotated between the white and the black or green pumpkin Neds, just for simply visual. They liked, some fish wanted to destroy either a white or a chartreuse color. Other fish wanted to destroy the natural green pumpkin goby colors. Just because, just temperament. It is what it is. Some of those fish just didn't want to bite green pumpkin. And some of those fish I could not see 12 feet down. And it was hard doing like one arm flogging and all that stuff. So I would toss the whites just to see it visually so I could pick it out, and those fish would hammer it. But this guy right here is pretty much what did all the damage. This is probably one of the most enjoyable combos to throw. And this is the Sierra 740 Ultra Finesse, the SA740C. Paired with a Daiwa Elphus Air TW. You can make long casts with this. You can drop on them. This is 4-pound Israeli hybrid. I am throwing it on, again, another 1/4 ounce Omega Slayer Ned head. This has a screw lock in it. This is actually an X Zone. What is it? They're X Zone. That's Goby. It's not Destroyer. Let me see if I have it over here. I can't think of it. Marauder? Something. I don't know. X Zone. The Stealth Invader. Awesome drop shot bait and Ned rig bait. But I rotated between multiple baits. I did the Stealth Invader. I did a XO stick that I broke into 3 pieces, screw locked it in, and I did a hand pour gobies that I don't have anymore. I don't even have them in the boat because I went through an entire bag of them because they're really, really, really soft. I mean, like gummy worm soft. But this is what caught, I would say, 90% of the fish was the green pumpkin, Slayer Ned head. This guy right here has caught a ton of fish, so that's it. I really kept it simple. Really kept it simple. It was a long week of searching. We didn't catch a lot of fish each day. We might have caught like, I think our best day was Tuesday, and that was like 45 fish. It's a lot of fish, but it's not like we do in St. Clair. Or if you're pre-spawn catching them on jerk baits and swim baits and all that kind of stuff. We were just looking for really big fish. We were looking for anything over 5 pounds, and we found a bunch of them. So we had to narrow it down. Those are the 3 rods. I should have left everything at home. I knew it was gonna be that. Cool. We'll talk to you guys later. Peace.